So this is just a brief discussion about um, like something that I wanted to talk about. The motivations. This is a criminologist report, all right? So, what are the motivations for people to do criminality? So it starts off with a kind of a cantankerous attitude problem. That's what a criminal philosophy starts off with. But if that gets legs, then it can become what would the next stage of that exacerbate? So you might say, well, did did revolutionaries have an attitude problem, or was it just that's a matter of opinion in different revolutions? Okay, so in the French Revolution, or the Russian Revolution, in the French Revolution, you say an attitude problem, but it's not an attitude to say there was a bread crisis. Okay, it's not an attitude to say the last empress was gambling taxpayers' money gratuitously and wantonly. Okay, so, and it's not an attitude to say that there are verified philosophical arguments, starting off with René Descartes and going on to more prolific philosophers of the Revolution, um, and that one feels that there was a redistribution of wealth needed. So, based on, but what was that based on? On honesty of what people were doing in diligence and hard work, honest to God, hard work. People were doing in a laiterie in Les Halles, maybe one day, in an allotment in Montparnasse, in an orchard in Normandy. All right, so these people were working their backs off and didn't seem to be like almost like Joseph Kessler in Switzerland. The Hren was taxing people uh, notoriously. So there was a taxation crisis, right? That's what a revolution is, a removal of the head of state, right? But then that's not criminality. So now we'll move on to criminality. Just get that out of the way. But that's not an attitude. So an attitude is something different about the circumstances of one's birth. The first 2 minutes of one's birth are the most important 2 minutes of one's life in determining what's going to happen for the rest of their life. That's verified by doctors. So how would you say trying to leave the social class that you were born in and become nouveau rich? Okay, that's an American idea. Go for the goal, you know. But what, as long as the measures you take are within the law? So then, if people are doing criminal damage to other people's dignity, property, families, um, assault, sexual assault, humiliation, uh, the motivation to do it must come from an attitude. But if there is a policing board, a Department of Justice, that is not bringing these people to justice for breaking the law, you wonder, is it the law at all? Is it discretionary policing that they're leaving this underclass of people who were born into working class families, who have all this wealth and are engaging in wanton criminality against a small minority of people? So where is the money coming from? So that's how you get up in a gang, you see. You say, do this job on X and Y and Z, and then you're in our gang, and next time you'll be paid better, and then you'll get more stuff. You'll get the yacht, the gated mansion, the sports car, and we'll get you buildings next to this him or her to do more jobs. And where was this money coming from? You see, so it's somebody on the stock market in the Western Hemisphere, in this case of this criminal report I am doing, who is tapping into a cantankerous attitude problem that these people had on Great Island about leaving the circumstances of their birth. All right. Fast forward then to the fact that somebody becomes a very important revolutionary philosopher, documentary maker of the French Revolution, and then use things in the Western Hemisphere that don't like this, who think it's a comedy show, but they're using WWE style interference to keep the show going. So they need to do more jobs and more jobs on this person. That light fixture up there last week, I put glue in it. There's actually a sprayer in the attic that's on remote control from a nearby building. When I start talking, all this poison comes in here. So I have put raw plug screws into the attic now. It is sealed. You cannot get into the attic. That is why I have made a comeback in the last 3 weeks since I sealed the attic. Every time all the occupants of this building went to the shop or some other appointment in the village for longer than an hour or down to the beach, this building, there was a key holder in this 2 kilometer radius, would drive up here, go into the attic on a stepladder, and fill up sprayers that are used for zoologists with these poisons going into my room, which was a condemned building until I sealed it up with various glues that I got from the DAX and other places, Amazon DAX. So now you can see how they faked it. So how they fake wrestling and how they fake my humiliation to keep up all of these Western Hemisphere schemes, which have no motive, because I was never in the Western Hemisphere. I never had any friends from the Western Hemisphere that I know of, nothing like that. So this conversation is fake news made up by people who are involved with the US State Department. That is that, like, because it is from the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, who is certain rogue companies who are covering up this conversation just for more money for another show. Say it ain't so, Joe. All right, that you're going to give up hitting home runs. You know, they thought it was funny. You know, television. But where is the money coming from? It must be coming from the Federal Reserve. There must be some of it coming from the Chancellor of the Exchequer if it's a British television. So this money is just for the underclass. You know, the underclass on Great Island have become uber rich, and it entertains people with a low education who don't work as hard as me. So the end result is, this morning I am getting a guarantor on a loan to go back into third level education starting this fall. Okay, and it'll probably be less work because I've been working so tough on getting undergraduate degree in French and German, and doing trades in the last way. So I don't have any barriers to it apart from getting one signature. We're told there's 8 billion people on the planet. So how many more people? I was denied a signature by the owner of this building last year, 2 weeks before the college recommends date, for accommodation purposes. Campus accommodation is not under this criminality. It is not corrupt. There are people also in the city, in a certain quartier, just from Shear Street up as far as the top of Merdick Walk, down that's Merdick Walk it's called. That street is also notorious for people from West Cork who are uber rich people, who are doing criminal acts to keep this show going as well. So this is about people who will refuse to accept that you can leave the working the class you were born in, but you have to work at things that are legal. That's discussing legality.